Welcome back to the Jonah and Ben podcast. We're previewing match day 3 for the New York Red Bulls as they take on CF Montreal back at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Fuck that. I'm just calling it RBA, which means Red Bull Arena, which was the name of the stadium for 16 years. Don't fact check me on that. Do you really want that on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Red Bulls are coming off a 1-0 victory over New England Revolution. We both said they would win. We thought they'd win by more. And they probably should have. New England were dreadful, but they didn't. But they still won thanks to their 17-year-old superstar in the making, Julian Hall. And I'm joined by, of course, the Ben of the Jonah and Ben podcast, the bigger Red Bull fan, Ben. How do you do?
I'm doing all right. The Red Bull game this past Saturday, it was pretty good. They won 1-0, as you said. Hall scored the only goal. Horvath kept the shutout, but there was really no question about Horvath keeping that shutout. Throughout the match, New England really only had, one big chance, if they had any. So, Horvath really didn't have much to do. The Red Bulls looked good, but defensively, they don't really have the legs to go past really 70 minutes. That's going to be something concerning going forward, but if the Red Bulls can get some more defensive depth, which it looks like they're doing, they'll be good going forward against better clubs that aren't named the New England Revolution.
Right. But their next opponent is, of course, a team probably one of the 1 or 2 or 3 clubs on the same level as New England, as there are only 6 clubs that have 0 points through 2 matches so far, and RBNY will have played 3 of them through the first 3 weeks. I mean, of course, RBNY are responsible or partially responsible for why Orlando and New England have 0 points, but now you are taking on Montreal, who has played 2 matches, has allowed 8 goals, and has not scored. Red Bulls are the obvious favorites here. At home, coming off back-to-back victories against a team with back-to-back losses. What do you think we're going to see from RBNY against Montreal?
I think we might see a little experimentation, putting Hall on the wing, if anything's going to change with the 11. But I think this is going to be a dominating performance. I see. If you look at Montreal, they are a team that never can seem to get anything going. They were up a man for the second half against Chicago, and it was 1-0 when Chicago got the red card. The game ended up 3-0. So Montreal, they're a bad side. They might be, arguably, them in Kansas City, the worst sides in MLS. So when you get to play a team like this, you have to take your chances. So if the Red Bulls don't win by multiple goals, I wouldn't say it's a disappointment, but I'd say we'd be let down by that result.
Because Red Bulls have been one of the most, probably, you could argue, the most aggressive team of MLS so far this season. You know, despite only 3 goals, they have the second most offsides, which shows how aggressive they've been in attack with all these youngsters now.
Half of those are from Cowell.
Probably. Oh, you were keeping track?
No.
And Montreal, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them get their second red card of the season. Only 5 clubs have had a red card. Montreal are one of them.
That was Avila's.
Yeah. I would not be shocked if it happened again. I think Red Bull's speed might be just too much for Montreal to handle. And, of course, these 2 clubs made a huge deal with each other in the offseason. Do you think that trade, which was, of course, Wiki Carmona for JMR, Jaquil Marshall ready?
Yep.
I know it's Marshall, like the store. Do you think that trade will be a big part of this game?
Absolutely. I think Marshall Ruddy's contribution to this team as the 500th right back has added so much, where Nealis and Shea have had to go in the middle. So Marshall Ruddy's been the guy that's been going forward, and really he's had a lot of quality in his game, and he had that huge stop against the New England Revolution, really preventing a goal, which Horvath had no chance at. So I think it was a really good deal from the Red Bulls, especially because they were able to offload Wickham and Carmona to a dumber team than the Red Bulls.
Right, not just getting rid of Carmona, but actually getting so far a quality starter in return. You couldn't ask for anything more from Julian de Guzman. And when they got JMR, we thought, it's just like whatever. He can maybe be a spot starter or he can come off the bench. No, he has been the quality signings so far. I mean, him and Horvath, of all people, The two signings that were like, well, I mean, I know JMR was a trade, not a signing, but people weren't really that excited. We were excited about Ruvalcaba and Cowell, who I think this match should get their moments to shine. I mean, I don't know if we're going to see them take on Carmona. I don't know what position he's been playing for Montreal.
He hasn't been playing. He's been on the bench.
Which is crazy that they traded JMR for him then. Oh, I didn't touch the bag. Anything else you wanted to talk about in terms of previewing this match?
I think there's one big caveat in this
And what
game,
is that?
And that is the referee for this match. It's Sergei Boyko.
Course.
And if you've been watching MLS for the last 3 years, you would have known how Boyko came over here from Ukraine because of the war. And he's been one, if not the worst ref in MLS. He's given the most red cards. He's given the most bullshit yellows you can think of. And he's just a fucking terrible ref. So once you see him booked for your game, you are like, come on, you're expecting bullshit when he's the ref. So if there's not some dubious red in this game, I would be shocked.
Of course, Montreal have allowed the most goals in MLS this season, and they've allowed the third most shots on target. Well, they have allowed 20 shots on target through 2 games. RBNY have only allowed 10. So I think we should see a lot from, of course, Julian Hall, who's on Golden Boot race with Klaus of LA Galaxy. But I would really like to see somebody else score. I mean, obviously, the RBNY are winning, but I think more attacking distribution would be great from, our 2 signings. And I don't know if Choupo-Moting will ever start again, but if he does, which would be great, I would predict him to score. Especially against this Montreal team who allow goals like BOGO sales. It's just like everybody gets a goal, basically. Yeah. Anything else you got? No? Okay.
I think it's very interesting how this is our first Sunday game of the season, so...
that is because of the She Believes Cup. Do you think the field will be in worse condition?
No.
It has to be. What do you mean, no? You think it'll be just fine?
Soccer isn't really that intensive on grass.
It can be, though. And our Montreal are one of 5 clubs to allow a penalty this season. I don't think we'll get a penalty. I mean, it would be great. RBNY haven't had a set... Well, they had a goal off a corner, so that's a lie. Recycled ball, but regardless. They haven't had a penalty or a free kick goal yet, so we'll see if RBNY can get their first this season.
I think there will be some bullshit from Boyko, though.
You are just ready to complain about that.
There will be, because I know what Boyko does, and I know what kind of shit we're going to get when you get him.
Montreal are last in corners. RBNY are third. Do you think that will be anything? 5th, not 3rd.
I think that will highly impact the game because the Red Bulls have had 66% of their goals coming off corners.
Two out of 3.
It's funnier to say that.
66% makes it seem like such a big deal, and then it's 2 out
of
3. But it's true. It's true.
The set pieces have been where the Red Bulls have been shining, especially when you see Dos Santos to Mehmeti to Hall for that goal to beat the Revolution. It's promising when you see plays like that happen.
Right, especially when all the storylines are about how is the 3 teenagers. But I think more importantly, it's just 2 guys from RB2 and then a guy who is who's also a youngster. It's the Michael Bradley effect, really, is how everybody has been on the same page in RBNY are like it's almost instantaneous.
There's so much chemistry.
How everyone knows the system, and Bradley has been a great hire through 2 games. It's flat out. Montreal have a new manager, or is he from last year?
So last year, the Montreal fired their coach in April, and
did they win the Spoon?
No.
Oh.
Can you check?
Oh.
I want to say it was Kansas City, but...
Dancing to this beat and all your fucking
I don't know.
No, they were only third. They were actually... No, it's DC United.
It's always them.
Kansas City had the same amount of points as Montreal. Atlanta did too.
Atlanta sucks.
That's true. Remember, RBNY would have made the playoffs in the West. Not that means anything. Moving on.
But I think the Red Bulls should be able to win this game.
I don't think it's a question of if they can win. It's And it would be, of course, disappointing, like you said, even if they won just 1-0 like they did against New England, which it was disappointing, yes, but at the same time, it's a win. So it's
early season wins, you take them.
Especially when it's a clean sheet. I think if Red Bulls won 3-2 and played sloppy defensively, then we'd have some questions, especially about, the lack of depth. That's a nice pitch. But if they do replicate their performance and win 2-0 against Montreal, I wouldn't complain. I think everyone will be happy as we look forward. Anything else you wanted to bring up? Or are we ready to bring up for the rest of the league?
Rest of the league.
All right. Any key matchups this weekend that you wanted to look at, maybe?
No. Okay. I think... Oh, wait. Cascadia Cup starting already?
That's what you want to talk about. Okay, let's bring it up. We are going to Toronto soon, but that will be our next week podcast. So we do it live in Toronto. Oh, spoilers alert, but... Yeah.
Wow, let it... Already Portland, Vancouver.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
2 possible contenders for this year's MLS Cup, or at least the Western Conference number 1 seed.
So Portland came off what really was a disappointing season last year, where they finished as a play-in team. They won the play-in and then ended up having to play the 1 seed San Diego FC. They took them to
San Diego.
Yeah. They took San Diego to 3 games, lost in San Diego in Game 3, and really they've had not a great start. They lost to Colorado on the road in match day 2. This is Phil Neville's 3rd year in charge of the Timbers, and really this should be their year where they end up like 4th or 5th in the West. They should be like conference semifinals is what the Timbers should be after, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that this season with their current roster. While the Vancouver Whitecaps, they are really the Western Conference powerhouse as of late, coming off an MLS Cup loss, of course, last year to Inter Miami. They have stars. They have the homegrown guys. They have great players, and they have the international star, which that's really when you see MLS Cup teams come out of, because they got Mueller, they got White, they got Tokoka.
Gold.
Gold too. They got, I forgot his name.
Okay, then don't.
Tristan Blackman. They have all these guys, but they just were not able to put it together either in the Champions Cup final or in MLS Cup. So
final.
It's just MLS Cup with the Cup.
MLS Cup final. Are we doing this? Are we ready to argue about this? No. Yeah, I think so far Vancouver have probably been the better side through 2 games, but we'll see. This could, be a Western Conference final preview, at least a playoff preview. As you say in Cascadia Cup, 2 very intense fan bases. Of course, Vancouver, let's hope they keep their team in Vancouver. We don't know what's going to happen with that. At Providence Park, it could be anyone's game. 10:30, though. I'll probably miss it. You'll probably miss it. You're going to stay up to watch it?
Probably not.
Exactly. But do you think that's the biggest game of Saturday?
Yeah.
I probably agree. This is not the greatest slate. Of course, DC United versus Miami. Do you think this game will be any different than if it was at Audi Field? Or is it still just going to be a Miami shellacking?
I think it's really fucking stupid how it's in Baltimore. Like,
they're called DC United, not Baltimore United.
They're
not Crab Lake United, not Old Bay United. All right, that's it.
The fact that Baltimore really doesn't have any soccer teams, it's kind of a disgrace.
If Vancouver moved there, would you be shocked?
No, not at all. Yeah. I think Baltimore is a market that really is untapped.
Could get Lamar as a minority owner, too.
Yeah. By any soccer team, and the fact that DC want to put their MLS Next Pro team there, it's just like, Baltimore? That's not a minor league city.
No,
that's not like Providence, Rhode Island, or Hartford, Connecticut.
No, this is Major League. This is National Football League. Yeah, it's NBA until this.
It's a disgrace, honestly, that Baltimore doesn't have, heck, even a USL team.
Whoa, that's true. Yeah.
If you think about it, Maryland, it's a professional state. They have 2 NFL teams and an MLB team, and they really do not have any soccer teams at all.
But then you'd either have to give them an expansion spot and move it to an uneven amount of teams, or again, you'd probably have to move Vancouver to Baltimore and then upset that city, which is, of course, have had their team for decades. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure Baltimore will get a team eventually. But about the game, DC, how did they do in match day? They lost to Austin, coming off their surprise victory over Philly, which is now not seeming like a surprise because Philadelphia might actually finally becoming crap. But that we're not talking about Philly, we're talking about DC, Miami. Of course, Miami coming off their visit to the White House, they might be distracted off of that. Maybe?
I think DC are not going to take this game seriously. I think it's...
You think it's going to be like when the circus comes to town?
Yeah, it's a complete circus. I saw they're going to have a military flyover. It's complete bullshit. You're screwing over your own fan base by moving the game 50 miles away.
Hello, gang. Pardon the interruption. Ben, you can continue complaining about the U.S. propaganda. I'm kidding. Don't complain about that. That's your own podcast. This is the Jonah and Ben podcast, which is about soccer. But then you bring that sort of stuff into soccer, and it's horrible. I mean, we could talk... We're going to do a World Cup podcast eventually. This isn't that. Okay, but keep going.
I think DC playing in Baltimore is just like a complete joke. Because it's just... You're playing a game in a completely different market. You're not playing for Baltimore. You're playing for DC. And
why couldn't they do this at FedEx Field? Do you know? Is it just because it's such a dump?
Because they want to... The whole thing is so they can build the relationship with Baltimore.
With
so they
the city of Baltimore, the people of Baltimore.
So they can get an MLS Next Pro team there. So it's all just fucking...
I know. Well, this is by choice, but it reminds me of when, of course, Hurricane Katrina, the Hornets played in Oklahoma City for about a season and a half back in the 2000s. But that was, I mean, they chose to go to OKC, but also, of course, to build trust with the NBA and the city of OKC. But regardless, Miami won 5-0 though.
Yeah,
maybe 5-1. The Israeli scores a token goal. That's about it.
It's very similar to when Sporting Kansas City played Miami at Arrowhead, but the difference with that is Sporting Kansas City used to play at Arrowhead. This isn't that kind of situation. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Miami 4-1.
So are we just going to go on to predictions?
Yeah.
Where we save RBNY for last because they're the biggest and best club. All right, so starting off our weekend, March 7th, 2026, match day 3, we'll begin with two of our least favorite clubs, New York City FC versus Orlando City Soccer Club at Yankee Stadium, the house that Jeter built.
These two expansion foes will be facing off at 2:30. So if you have any time, you can watch this game on its own. But I don't know why the fuck any Red Bulls fan would watch this. I mean...
Other fan bases listen to this podcast, but keep on.
It's not really anything that Red Bulls fans should be interested in. So Orlando, they're coming off a really tough loss at home against their main rivals, Inter Miami. And you saw that video, that GIF where number 10 did that like pen motion to their coach Oscar Pereira.
Yes.
And I don't know how their morale is not in the absolute dumpster right now. They're coming off 2 bad home losses, one to Red Bull New York and one to Miami. I mean,
one where they were just flat out bad, and the other where they just flat out choked. Yeah. But who you got after all that shitting on Orlando City?
I hate to say this, but New York City's going to win this game. It's going to be a 1-0 win for the blue team.
They do tend to win 1-0 a lot. I'll go 2-1 NYCFC. I would love to see them lose, but they got home field advantage, even if it's not really much of an advantage. They're in New York. That's what's going to happen. NYC win. We did DC Miami at M&T Bank Stadium, the house that Ray Lewis built. Gross. Atlanta United versus Real Salt Lake. That one is caught.
That's good.
Tag the third. Safe. Nice play for Great Britain. We're not going to do a WBC podcast. It's just not that interesting. Who you got in Atlanta versus Real Salt Lake? You got Almiron versus Diego Luna. Battle of the Stars.
Atlanta sucks. They are flat out a bad team. But Salt Lake, I don't know if they really have much going for them this season because they traded Ojeda to Orlando, and they don't really have much on their current roster besides Luna. But saying that, they did come off a 2-1 home victory over the Seattle Sounders, so I'm going to take a 3-2 road win for Real Salt Lake.
I forgot Alejandro Kirk is playing for Mexico. That's funny. Yeah, this should be an interesting game. I think we're going to get a 2-2 draw. I think the Stars shine. I think Luna scores a free kick and Almiron scores a penalty. And Saba gets hurt. Charlotte versus Austin, the two newest clubs in MLS. 2 of the 4 newest clubs, or 2 of the 3?
4.
I was right. Okay. Who you got? At both
I think
another NFL stadium. The next 3 games, all NFL stadiums.
And a baseball stadium.
Baseball, football. It's not great for the World Cup year, but
I think you gotta take a Charlotte 1-0. But if you saw that Diego Ramirez Superman goal to win that game against DC United,
I didn't.
That game was fucking terrible. But Charlotte,
DC lost.
Did you see that Zaha Snapchat where he said he could evict that guy?
He's such a bitch.
He is like such a personality for this league.
It's not the league. It's been his whole career. He's not good enough to get away with it.
It's funny though.
You find it entertaining?
Because it's not our club, so it's like you can just laugh at it from afar because he's really not that good.
No, he's not good enough. He was 5-7 years ago. Yeah. Now it's just when he was rumored to Arsenal.
He's such a joke.
When he was at Palace. But no, now it's just like he needs to grow up. But who you got?
I think, once again, Charlotte 1-0.
Oh, you said that already?
Yeah.
My bad, Slim. I misheard you. Or I wasn't listening. Charlotte 2-1. Columbus, Chicago. The Battle of the Seas at Scott's Miracle Grow Field.
This Walmart Saturday showdown is at...
This is the Walmart game?
Yeah, so that's Steve Cantalosi's game. If you can pen in a good team right now, I think you can put Chicago as... I don't know if you could say they're good, but they have a lot going for them at the moment. So I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw.
I don't know. Chicago on the road. This is just the past years. Chicago have never been impressive as long as I've been watching soccer. 3-1 Columbus. And speaking of unimpressive, Philadelphia Union, who have been awful under Bradley Carnell, versus San Jose.
I think the Worms, this should be their get-right game. While saying that, I want them to get fucking massacred on the field. Yeah. I want them to get destroyed. I want them to get creamed. Whatever awards I want Bruce Arena to do to the Philadelphia Union, I want them to look fucking terrible. But I think it's not realistic to say that San Jose is going to run away with this game.
San Jose is not very good.
No, they're not. Mm-mm. They really had an awful offseason. So
did Philly.
This has 0-0 written all over it. So you got to predict 0-0.
I'm gonna reverse jinx Philadelphia. Or no, just jinx them. 1-0 Philadelphia. So now they will lose 1-0. Maybe, I don't know. Sporting Kansas City take on San Diego. Who you got?
This is such an easy San Diego 2-0. I mean, Kansas City suck.
Probably the best of last year versus the worst of last year. But at least Kansas City are at home. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I think I agree with you. 2-0 San Diego. Nashville take on Minnesota United. This would be a great game in hockey, but this is soccer.
Nashville is a fucking wagon. At home. If you can pick any Eastern Conference team to take on Miami this year, you have to pen in a Nashville Soccer Club. They are star-studded. They are a well-built team. If they won the offseason, frankly.
Well-oiled machine, maybe.
So this is a very good team. So you got to predict a 3-0 Nashville Soccer Club win over Minnesota United.
I don't have to do that. First off, you're not side out. I got Nashville winning 2, though. 2-1. I think Minnesota keep it closer than you're giving them credit for in this East-West showdown. Yeah. St. Louis City Soccer Club, STLCSC, take on the Seattle Sounders. Say that 10 times fast. At Energizer Park. Who you got? This would be a great baseball game, Cardinals, Mariners. But I'm going to go for the road team to win. 2-1 Sounders. In a game between two teams who were absolutely awful last season, Colorado Rapids versus LA Galaxy. Who you got?
I think the Galaxy will get a 1-1 draw at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. I think the Galaxy, while they did get that 3-0 shutout over Charlotte FC, I think that might have been a blip rather than really anything to write home about. Any notes?
No, I'm not. I really don't know. This is probably a game I'm not going to watch. We're not affiliated with the league. We don't have to front. I'm just predicting off what I've heard so far, not what I've seen. 2-2. I think Galaxy are much better than last year. I think they're going to be back in playoff contention, but on the road early in the season at the mountains, they've been training in the warm weather of California all off season. Yeah, they're not going to be ready for this. But Colorado FC Storm, what is that? Colorado Rapids Storm, good. LAFC take on Dallas at BMO Stadium.
I think this was Son Heung-min's debut last season at Toyota Park.
That's true.
But this is now the reverse fixture, so LA, they're always going to have the home field advantage with Son being on the roster. It's just a fact because right now they're kind of like Miami where they have the circus traveling around them just because of Son's presence on the team. I think you got to take an LA 2-0 win.
LAFC are a goddamn... Okay. LAFC are a goddamn wagon right now. You have two of the top 5 best forwards in MLS with Son and Bouanga. I'm going to go for a 5-1 victory over Dallas. I think we get a Bouanga hat-trick and a Son hat-trick of assists. They are just unbeatable right now. But they're not the best defensively. I think just right now, just pure firing squad, though. Well-oiled machine, like I said. Portland versus Vancouver. We didn't do our predictions for it. We already yapped about it, so we can just say the score. Who you got in this Cascadia Cup at Providence
2-3.
Park? Home run for Ford. That's not Mike Ford. That guy was built. Harry Ford has a home run in the WBC, and it's 1-1, Mexico versus Great Britain. Sorry, we got off track. Vancouver win 2-1, and Muller scores another brace.
I think we both have Vancouver winning.
Yeah? You said 2-3, and I said 2-1 Vancouver. So we do. Why did you want to argue? Okay. Cincinnati take on Toronto on Sunday Night Soccer, presented by Continental Tire. At TQL, this is Toronto are bad, and Cincy are...
not that good. They're
not as
not.
good as
They don't have a Vander.
No, that's true. He hurt in the game on Fox that I got hurt in.
I think the one thing to watch out for is how Josh Sargent might be playing in this game. If he doesn't play, Toronto's going to lose. This is a loss. Like I know I just said that Sargent might impact this game, but this has a 4-0 win.
Do we know
all
if he's
over
ready for this game? Have you seen anything, or are you just
No, I
guessing?
have not. I'm
guesstimating.
Yeah.
I understand that. Was unnecessary. The last game of the weekend, because of course New England Houston got postponed. We don't know when that game is going to be. Do we?
No, we do not.
So yeah, it's an early bye week for New England versus Houston. This is probably just going to be a terrible game to put as the Sunday night showcase, showdown, whatever. It's a standalone game. Cincinnati 3-0, yeah. But speaking of another standalone game, I don't know if they realized this at the time, but it happened. Red Bulls host CF Montreal, our precious New York Red Bulls, Section 230. I won't be there live. I'll be watching, though. I'm always watching. Ben from the Jonah and Ben podcast will be watching. And who does he have in this Eastern Conference showdown? Match day 3.
If Red Bull New York don't win, I'm going to throw my hat out the field.
Oh, you're going to wear a hat to the game? You usually do.
Yeah. I'll take Red Bull 2-0.
Very plain. Remember, they're not New York Red Bulls anymore. They are Red Bull New York. I think you're being bland. 2-0. Though, when we were saying the higher scores, then it became 1-0 and 2-1. So, fuck it. I'm going to say a higher scoring game again. I got Red Bulls 3-1. I think they're going to allow another late goal like they did against Orlando. Just because, again, they do not have the depth for when Marshall Reddy gets tired or, Matthew Dos Santos who gets tired. Also, do you want to talk about that, how they made that permanent? Or do you...
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, well, they made Matthew Dos Santos permanent. But I said 3-1. Yeah, I think for Montreal, who's their striker?
Prince Arusso.
Has he scored against... He has scored against us before, I think.
No, he hasn't.
Really?
No.
You know that?
Yeah.
You probably don't. For RBNY, I think Cowell gets on the score sheet. I think Hall scores his fourth. And I'm just going to keep saying it until he does score. Forsberg scores. And who do you have scoring for RBNY? Since you said 2-0.
Hall brace.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. You can't pick against him when he's the only guy scoring.
Yeah, 3 out of 3 so far. 2 matches, 2 victories. All right, do you want to bring up the Matthew Dos Santos topic?
Yep.
The elephant in the room, you can say?
So there's been a lot of news today out of Metroland because
Metroland?
There has been a lot of news with our homegrown signings. Former homegrown signing Serge Goma has been loaned out to Brigham and Legion in the USL Championship. It's a season-long deal, so he will be back with the club for 2027 in the mini-season. Serge, he showed so much promise in his debut season. Unfortunately, he got injured in the Austin game that season, and he really has not been back since to that level. So it's not the biggest loss for the Red Bulls because he hasn't been the same player he was for 4 years. So while it is disappointing seeing this be the path that his career has taken, it's not surprising. In more Metro homegrown news, Matthew Dos Santos has signed a permanent first-team contract to the Red Bulls through the 28-29 season with options for 29-30 and 30-31. So Dos Santos was going to be a homegrown signing for next season, but the Red Bulls have finalized a deal to make him a homegrown signing this season. So he will be with the first team for the foreseeable future.
Right. Dos Santos has been, I mean, of course, they loaned him in 3 hours before a match, and he played very well. He started, and then he did it again against New England, despite, of course, being pretty fatigued late in the second half. I think they still need to make another signing. I know it's late, and they're not going to, but left back depth would have been crucial for this team. And I think you were a bigger fan of Serge than almost anybody. Almost anybody, but not everybody. Of course, there is one fan, but that's a different story. I don't think this really affects RBNY too much. I think this is great for the fans. It's great for PR-wise and probably for Dos Santos' confidence. So you could say that.
It's because he earned his spot on the team.
He did. He worked for it.
Yeah, he
worked hard.
I mean, you come in as this...
for Bradley and this side, yeah.
Yeah. You came in as the academy guy of the fullback room, and he just worked for everything he had, and he's now on the first team permanently. So, Congrats to Dos Santos.
I think that's why people are really endeared so far to this RBNY side. It's just, it feels like not just a team of egos, but a team of guys who came through, of course, locally, especially the manager now, but... It's a good mix right now of youngsters and vets, though I think just the depth is what's missing. Yeah. Anything else we got to bring up?
To add on, it's how the local...
That only now.
Well, to the local guys where you have these New Yorkers like Hall and Mehmeti, and then you have the Connecticut guy in Dos Santos. And then, of course, our manager is from fucking Princeton.
Who you hate.
Michael Bradley.
You do hate the town of Princeton.
Of course I do.
Okay.
And then we still got our Long Islanders and Parker and Nealis. And then you got... Shit. I'm thinking. We don't really have that many New Jerseyans on the team. It's like players. You have anything to add on?
No. Because our assistants are just a bunch of guys from Germany and Qatar, so it's an interesting room. And the guy's South African, right?
The
guy who was
Ibrahim.
RB2. Yeah,
he's been Red Bull forever. He's been.
Well, you don't know where he's from either, do you?
He's Ugandan.
We will do a World Cup. So you did know? Wasn't you correct?
I was thinking.
Oh, okay. We will do a World Cup away kits tier list thing eventually, as Adidas has released all of them. So if you want to look forward to that, not just World Cup kits, but World Cup Adidas away kits. I like this one. Is that Ukraine?
Yeah, that's Ukraine.
That's good.
Sweden looks better.
Oh, this is the riveting content you get on the Jonah Ben podcast. So are you excited for RBNY? Are you excited for the Metro?
Let's fucking go Metro.
That's what we're getting the fans hyped on. Metro. You're gonna break my laptop, you stupid.